Hi everyone, this is Amanda at Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today I'm going to be talking about Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, because my sister Jordan, this is her favorite book of all time, and she really wanted me to read it. So she sent me the copy of it, the hardcover obviously, and I promised her I'd read it in September, and I have. Wow, all the feels in this book. I am telling you. Oops, I dropped a card. I put this in the book originally, and I accidentally dropped it. But seriously, all the feels. So for those who have never read this before, this is about this boy named Park, and he goes to high school, and then the new girl comes in, and her name is Eleanor. And they meet in school. They go to the same high school, Park and Eleanor. This is set during 1986. So this is way before technology became a thing, basically. Eleanor is not in the best of circumstances with the house that she's in, with her family. Her mom decided to get with this guy, and he is not very nice, can be very abusive emotionally towards the kids, and kind of sort of physically towards the mom. So if you are interested in this book, you might want to check the trigger warnings, because he's not a very nice guy that her mom ended up with. And so Eleanor is going through all these things, living in that house with her mom and her mom's boyfriend or husband. It's a very hard situation to be in. And then she meets Park, who comes from a family that is very warm and loving, but his parents don't always his dad, more than his mom, doesn't really understand him. So they both come from totally different backgrounds. And then they meet on the bus, going to school. And Park does not want anything to do with her at first. And then they gradually get to know each other a little bit. And things start happening with the families, both of them, Eleanor's and Park's. And you really feel for the characters. These Eleanor and Park, just all these things. It's hard to describe because of all the feels. Seriously, all the feels. You go from one end of the spectrum to another in this book. It's a short book, so I read this pretty quickly. I think I read this in a day and a half. I probably could have done it in one day, but the day I read it, I started reading it, was later, I think around nighttime. And then I got tired and went to sleep, and then I went back to reading it. But it's a very, very good book. I love Eleanor. I mean, she's just the sweetest thing. And the way she relates to her brothers and sisters. And Park and his background is, I loved for where his family and where he came from. I just wish his dad was a little bit more understanding with Park, because I mean, I kind of understood where Park comes from, because sometimes I don't always feel understood myself, and from a lot of different people. So I kind of related to him on that level, and that's probably why I loved him so much. And then Eleanor, she is the sweetest character. She gave me all the feels, and I totally felt for her. I felt so bad for her circumstances, and it's hard to describe how amazing this book is. It's because of the relatability of the characters and how everything all ends up in the end. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars instead of 5, only because of the last page. I would have given it 5 stars if it wasn't for that last page. I really wanted a slightly different ending. Just slightly. And if you have read the book, then you would understand why I feel that way. I wanted to see more of a slightly better conclusion to the book. But I absolutely adored this and absolutely felt for all the characters in so many ways. There's only maybe one character I wasn't much of a fan of, and that's one of their classmates. She's not very nice. She was very mean towards Eleanor. And her name's Tina, and I just was not a fan of her. But I know that's relevant to the story, the way she is, and how everything comes together. I just didn't like her in general. But Eleanor and Park, I absolutely adore the two of them. They're just the cutest, and like it was such a feel-good type story, and the way everything that Eleanor goes through, what Park goes through, and how they all end up is just such a wonderful story. I cannot put this into words exactly because of like the emotional aspect of this book. It really tugs at your heartstrings. It's really that emotional of a book. If you haven't read the book, it's very hard to describe the ending without giving away stuff. But if you have read it, I'm sure you'll understand. But if you have not read this book, I highly, highly recommend you doing so. Because it pulls out all the feels, all the emotions. You just feel everything in this book. From like happy to sad, to happy again and sad again. And then, like I was tearing up at parts. And I really enjoyed the story. I've never read anything from this author before. I think I unhauled another book from this author earlier, like early this year. I think it was January. I think I gave a book away from this author. Now I'm wondering why I did so. I might have to check out that book again. Probably I won't buy it, but I would definitely check out one from this author, at least from the library or Libby or something, because this author knows how to pull out the feels, man. And I absolutely enjoyed the story from beginning to end. I don't read a lot of high school romance books, but when they pull out the feels, that's a whole nother story. And well, that's what got me in the end, is all the emotions. It's just, wow. Absolutely enjoyed it. 4.5. I would have given it a 5-star if it wasn't for that last page. But it was just so good. I definitely recommend people reading this book if you haven't. I will link the book from Amazon down below if you want to get it for yourself. Definitely think you should if you do not have this book yet. It's highly emotional, but an amazing story from start to finish, and I would definitely read some more from this author. So thank you so much, George, for sending me this book. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to enjoy more Rainbow Rowell stories. I will keep this on my shelf for many, many, many years to come. So if you like this video, give me a huge thumbs up. And if you want to see more bookish content and other book reviews from me, make sure you subscribe down below. And I will see you all next time.